Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Herman, and in this video, I'm going to cover some recent news that some of you in the points and miles game might be very excited to hear. Less than 2 weeks ago, the Department of Transportation finally approved of the Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines merger. Airline mergers such as this are rare because the Department of Transportation doesn't want airlines to have too much market share and generally have to go through a pretty rigorous process in order to be allowed to do a merger. Recently, I know JetBlue and Spirit were not allowed the merger, so this was pretty good news that this one was allowed to happen. And even though right now Alaska Airlines, the rewards program has been growing, the availability of acquiring Alaska Airline points has been pretty limited. One is through regular flights on Alaska Airlines. Two is holding the Alaska Airlines credit card. Very recently also it was Bilt, but Bilt doesn't have any welcome bonus offers whenever you open up a Bilt MasterCard. But now, by incorporating the Hawaiian Airlines program, and partnering it with Alaska Airlines, it now does allow a indirect ability to transfer American Airlines points over to Alaska Airlines via Hawaiian Airlines. That gives you a lot more options as to airline award availability, especially in those higher tier premium economy, business, or first class redemptions from the US to overseas destinations. So here I'm going to go over how to actually do this, and at the time of recording I did this just today in order to show and to verify that not only does it work, but to show you guys exactly how to do it. Even though it was announced over a week that this was an option, I wanted to be sure that there wasn't going to be any closing of any gaps by either the airlines or even American Express, because maybe you can transfer over to Hawaiian, but if you transfer any points, those points are now locked into Hawaiian and you can't transfer them over. And now, to try this out, if you want to actually make this work for you, you first want to log into your American Express account, and you're going to go over to any of your cards that earn American Express membership rewards points. And once you're there, you want to go over to the Rewards and Benefits tab and head down to Ready for Redeem and click Transfer Points. If you haven't already created an account with both Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines, make sure you do that prior to doing this, because without one, you won't be able to transfer any points to any of the reward programs. Once the page loads, if Hawaiian Airlines is not already here in the featured section, you can always go to View All to find Hawaiian Airlines, but since it's here, I will go through it. Once here, if your account is already linked, you just have to take into account that you can transfer points only in 1,000 point increments, and they will transfer one-to-one. Also, Amex is going to charge you a small fee for transferring airline miles to a transfer partner, and this is across the board for all major banks that have a transferable point currency over to transfer partners. In this case, because I don't have a specific award redemption in mind, I'm only going to transfer 1,000 points, and I'm going to choose the fee, which in this case is only 60 cents. One thing is that you'll see it says it could take up to 48 hours. Normally, it can take it usually takes less than that. A lot of times it's instant, but just make sure you know that beforehand in case you see a award availability that you really want to go after. Cool. Once it's all set, at that point, you want to go over to your Hawaiian Airlines account and see when the points post to the account. Fortunately, the points did transfer right away as I had hoped, but always remember that they could take longer. So if it doesn't post right away, just make sure you check back later that same day or maybe the next day. And again, if it's past 48 hours, then just reach out to Amex to see what happened, or maybe it's possible that you put in the wrong number for your Hawaiian Airlines account. Once you see that the points are transferred, in this case, I just did 1,000 points transfer, you go to this website, storefront.points. This is their official site to transfer points between both programs. You can either transfer from Hawaiian to Alaska or from Alaska to Hawaiian. It is totally up to you. In this case, I wouldn't really recommend transferring from Alaska to Hawaiian unless you have a very specific redemption that you already had planned, because Alaska Airline miles are normally on average far more valuable than Hawaiian Airlines. And here you want to select the program that you want to transfer the miles over to. Once you're on the site and have logged into both accounts after being prompted to, you're going to choose how many miles you want to convert from Hawaiian over to Alaska. Then here you hit continue. And you finalize your transfer. And just like from transferring to Amex over to Hawaiian, transferring from Hawaiian over to Alaska, most of the time should be instant, but there could be some delay. So it could wait. It could be up to a 72-hour wait. So if they don't transfer right away, don't worry. You might just have to check a little bit later. But I do understand if you're having that, if you already found your award redemption that you really want, it might be a little worrisome when you transfer your points and are not able to book it right away. But lucky for me, the miles from Hawaiian to Alaska Airlines posted almost instantly. And when I checked my account, not only were my points balance updated, but it also shown in the points activity that the miles had been transferred over successfully. And to reiterate why this is such a big deal, being able to do this now, is that Alaska Airline miles are some of the most valuable points currency out there in the market right now. According to the Points Guy, their valuation is 1.45 cents per point. However, you can get more value depending on your travel habits, the award availability that you may find, and just sometimes, unfortunately, a little bit of luck. The reason for this is that Alaska Airlines is part of the One World Alliance. So with your Alaska Airline miles, you may be able to book on any of the core members, such as long-haul American Airlines, British, Cathay Pacific, Japan Airlines, or Qatar Airways. Those are usually some of the more popular ones that users like to book through. But Alaska Airlines also has a few additional airlines that they do partner with, but are not part of any airline alliance, or they're not even in the same alliance at all, such as LATAM, Korean Air, which are both part of SkyTeam, Singapore Airlines, which is part of Star Alliance, or Starlux Airlines, which is a newer airline, which is not part of any airline alliance. And depending on where you're traveling, your Alaska miles are actually most valuable when you're booking long-haul flight overseas. So one example is if you're flying from Miami to Lima, Peru, you can book business class on LATAM for as low as 35,000 Alaska miles. If you want to fly from London Heathrow to JFK or vice versa, you can book business class tickets for as low as 55,000 Alaska miles. Or if you want to book tickets from San Francisco over to Taipei, the reward redemptions start off at 75,000 miles. Some considerations that you need to know before you actually do this is that, one, before you transfer any points over to any airline program, not just Alaska or Hawaiian Airlines, is ensure that you have an award redemption already in mind that you want to do right away. And the reason being is that once you transfer from American Airlines or Chase or any other bank points over to a transfer partner, you cannot move those points back into your bank membership rewards points balance account. So once you do, the transfer is final. So when you have an award redemption in mind, make sure you have it saved and are ready to make that booking that same day or right after you transfer those points. And the key is that you do it fast, because some of those award availabilities may not last very long. As soon as somebody else sees them and books it, you may be stuck with your points in that account. The second consideration in this is try to see what are your best award availability options in all classes, such as business, premium economy, and economy. And that second one is the key behind it, because a lot of people tend to forget about premium economy being a very viable option for long haul and international flights. It is substantially better than economy, at least in my opinion. And even though it's still quite a ways away from business class, because the premium economy doesn't have lie flat seats. In fact, you have a much bigger seat, you have more privacy, the service is a lot better. It can make your experience far better than if you're stuck in a small economy seat, especially in very long haul flights. So make sure you look at all your options in seats, and don't just try to go for business class, because that may just not be an option, but sometimes premium economy can be a very, very good option. And so thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And in the comments, let me know if you have done this very recently, if you're excited for this, and if you plan to use this in the future. And if you actually have had trouble with this, definitely let me know in the comments down below, so others can know if they run into the same types of issues. So until next time.